Hi everyone! Today we are going to talk about training your cat to walk on a leash. You might want to take your cat outside if they often try to dash through the door or seem frustrated or bored inside. If they express any interest in the outside world, you might want to try training them to go outside on a leash and harness. The first thing to take into consideration when you're training a cat to go on walks is their age. A younger cat is going to acclimate a lot more quickly to new experiences. That's not to say that you can't train an older cat, it just takes a little more time and a little more patience. But the younger your cat is, the faster they're going to be able to progress through the different stages that I'm about to explain. Their adaptability and willingness to go outside also depends on their personality. And you know your cat best, so just listen to them, take hints, observe their body language, because you want to keep them just barely outside of their comfort zone as they're adjusting to all these new things like a harness, a leash, and being outside new environments. Just don't move too fast. If you push too hard or too fast, they're going to pull back even more and you're going to have negative progress. So it's really beneficial when you're doing any type of training with your cat to have them on a feeding schedule. If you've ever watched Jackson Galaxy's videos, he incorporates this topic on several occasions. They can rest better at night, they know when to expect things. And then you know that there are times of the day when they're going to be a little more hungry, where treats hold more weight in the training process. So those treats are going to work better if they don't have constant access to food all the time. Another training tip for any cat training is finding what Jackson Galaxy calls the jackpot treat. For my cats, they love the little churro squeeze treats. These things, they kind of are a little bit messy and maybe more difficult to use than dry treats, but I'll put it on a spoon to make it easier, and they just go crazy. Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, we're going to move into stage 1. So stage 1 consists of 2 components, inside and outside, and there's kind of these 2 categories throughout the later stages as well. So inside the home, you're going to start getting your cat used to a harness. For a baby cat, this might take 1 or 2 days. For an older cat, it might take a week or longer. When they start to move more freely and more like they do without it, that's when you know they're getting more comfortable. The first time you introduce your cat to a harness, they should be having dinner. If this is your cat's first time wearing anything, you're going to want something minimal. So what I have is an H-style harness. This is from Surfer Cat. I'll put a link down below, but I really like this one because it's super minimal. So if your cat is really disturbed or uncomfortable when things are on their body, this is going to be a really good place to start. So you're just going to put this on, maybe start a little bit looser. Eventually you want to get it just to 1 or 2 finger space around your cat to make it escape proof. But start loose. Try to put it around their neck first. If they pull back a lot, maybe try around their belly first. So try to put it on while they eat and just give it a few tries and just keep doing this every time they eat until you see that they're comfortable with it. So you put it on and they eat their dinner and they start running around and acting like normal with the harness on. That is a great point to be at. If you have a really young kitten and you're free feeding them, then use that jackpot treat. Maybe take their food away for a couple hours to let their hunger build up, and then either bring it back or use that jackpot treat to get them occupied and take their mind off of the fact that you're trying to put something around their body. So while you're training them to get comfortable with this harness on their body, you're also going to be doing some outside work. Before doing this part, your cat needs to have a positive association with whatever carrier or backpack or duffel bag style carrier you're going to use. My personal favorite is the Surfer Cat sling bag or the Mr. Peanuts backpack, which converts into a duffel bag. While the backpack is really convenient, it's nice to be able to see and interact with your cat. When they're really comfortable being outside, the backpack's probably not a problem, but you really just have to read your cat, maybe wear the backpack on the front so that you can interact with them. Otherwise, you can't see your cat and they can't see you, and there's very little communication happening. So to build that positive association, you need to leave their carrier available to them at all times in your home. Leave it out and open all the time. We have an entryway bench where we leave our carriers open, and the cats actually sleep in there almost every day. It's like a nice, quiet, dark space for them to go to away from all the humans. You can periodically put some treats inside. You can even train your cat to go inside on command. If it's not already lined with something soft, get a cozy baby blanket or cat pad for them to snuggle up in. It should be comfortable. It should be a safe place for them. And something cozy and soft should be able to absorb their smells so that wherever you go with them, they still have that smell of like, okay, this is my territory, this is my home, I feel safe. Now, once they're comfortable with their carrier, start to take them outside in the carrier for increasing amounts of time every day if you can. Start with just 5-10 minutes and slowly increase. Watch your cat for signs of extreme stress. They probably will be uncomfortable, right? They might try to hide behind certain parts of their carrier. They might even meow at you. But if they start to show extreme signs of stress, and this is going to vary based on your cat's personality, but if they're starting to shake really badly and they're trying to bury themselves, if you think it's too much for your cat, take them back inside. Take them maybe just to your front porch, maybe inside the house with the door open so that they can see all the sounds that are happening and smell the new smells from the outdoors. I started taking my cat outside in his carrier when he was about 3.5 or 4 months old. He was really content just to sit inside and watch the birds go by, look at the trees. Sometimes people would pass. When he started even taking naps and falling asleep, I knew that he was comfortable outside. Another really good indicator that your cat is comfortable outside is that they're willing to have a treat or eat food while they're outside. If they are preoccupied making sure that there are no predators around, they're not going to want to have that treat. I'm no behavioral specialist, but I know we owners know our cat really well, so just pay attention to them and do your best to read their signs. If they're panting, definitely dial it back. That would be a very extreme stress response. Try to start with a more quiet space, a fenced-in backyard, a place with no view of a road with cars, not too many loud noises. That's going to be a really good place to start. Motor vehicles can be one of the most intimidating factors for cats, so if you have to drive out to a trail and find a quiet spot, that may be the best place to start. All right, stage 2. Once your cat is comfortable with their harness, they're able to move around and it's not too restricting on their body movements. Continue to take them outside, maybe to more challenging areas where there's a little bit more activity or for longer periods of time. Inside the home, we're going to start incorporating their leash. Currently, I use a surfer cat leash, which is essentially a retractable leash with very low, very low pressure, pullback. This retractable leash is essentially equivalent to a dog leash for really small dogs. So the pullback is not going to be super strong because cats are pretty sensitive and small. It also has this toy that you can use when you're inside. This is really attractive for very playful cats to get them to follow you. Another leash that I like, although it's a little bit short, is the Pet Safe leash because it's essentially a long bungee cord. So if your cat is the kind who will dart away or jerk on the leash, then having something that has a bungee is going to be really helpful and a lot more comfortable for both you and your cat. You can also get a bungee extension to put on the end of any other leash. So you're going to start including the leash into their daily harness time. You're going to put their harness on before they have any food, attach the leash, and either have like a bowl or a spoon with if it's wet food, or just have whatever is their jackpot treat. You're going to hold on to the leash loosely and offer them the treat just beyond their reach so that they start to follow you. When they do come to you to get that treat, say their name or even use a clicker. I have this Karen Pryor clicker. We don't do a whole lot of clicker training anymore, but it was super helpful, especially if you're trying to teach your cat commands. So you're going to have to do some clicker association where you give them a treat and give them a click so that they know they've done the correct thing. They're going to associate this clicking sound with treats, and whenever they hear that clicking sound, it's going to solidify that connection between whatever action they just did and whatever your command was. So if you're using a clicker, use the clicker right before or right as they get that treat when they come to you, and use a reinforcing word like their name, but try to say it the exact same every time. When I say Miso's name, I usually say Miso, and I try to go upwards with my inflection on the last syllable, because this has been shown in some study that I don't remember, to create a stronger association for cats. So try to end your cat's name with an upward inflection. Start with small distances. Maybe they'll be traveling 6 inches, and increase as they start to respond faster. You're going to have your hands full, but I promise you'll be able to do this. Keep these training sessions pretty short. You might do this once a day, maybe twice if you're really ambitious, and just 5 to 10 minutes. You really want to end all training on a positive note, both for you and your cat. You don't want your cat to get too frustrated, so if they keep doing the wrong thing, try to make it easier for them, maybe make the distance shorter, and once they do it successfully, call it quits for that session. Don't want to overdo it. Your cat will get irritated. Once your cat starts responding pretty quickly, just following you with a loose leash, start to give them a little bit of pressure on the leash so that they know they should come to you when you're giving a slight tug or pull on the leash, or rather that they shouldn't go further away from you when you're pulling or when there's pressure on their harness. All right, time for stage 3, which is actually taking your cat outside on their leash and harness. So before you leave your home, you're going to get their treats, get one out, get their harness on, attach their leash to it, and get them loaded into their carrier. Give them some treats to know that this is a positive experience. Close up their carrier and take them out to the location that you've been acclimating them to over the past couple stages. Set them on the ground. And at this point, they should be pretty comfortable with this environment. We'll open up the door and let your cat come out on their own time. Make sure you are able to have a hold on the leash before they come out, but just let them come out by themselves. Do not pull or force them. If they don't come out the first couple times that you try this, try to entice them with some treats or move to a quieter area. Another thing I found helpful when bringing my cat outside was having a sound that they associated with treats that's stronger than my voice or the clicker even. It's just this jar shaking. Come here. Come here. Come closer. Well, they're just sitting right out of frame. But this helped my cat come to me when we were outside. He's very food motivated though, so I know this is not going to be a perfect solution for everyone, but try it and see if it helps. This process is pretty straightforward, but it's going to take some consistency and patience. Let your cat go at their own pace for this part. They're going to want to smell everything. They might want to eat some grass. This is the stage where I really recommend having some kind of elastic component on the leash because you've never taken them out before and you don't know if they're going to dart away to try and hide in a bush. Having this elastic component relieves a lot of the pressure for your cat and for you. It might be a good idea to start with a short leash like the pet safe one. So just start small, don't push them, let them go at their own pace. And if you think they've had enough, you can pick them up, load them into their carrier, and take them home. You're not going to get your cat to walk in a straight line down the sidewalk like a dog, especially not the first few times. And if you do, you are incredibly lucky and I am so jealous of you. But that's not to say that it's not rewarding otherwise. Cats, they want to smell every single thing around them. That's really enriching for them. What might seem incredibly mundane and boring to you is something that they have never experienced before and they want to explore it more. So don't force them to move along with you. Let them explore at their own pace. They might just go in a 10-foot radius and never leave, and that's okay. At least you got your cat outside and they experienced something new. And taking your cat outside on the leash really is not for us as owners, even though it's incredibly cute. We can't expect them to behave like a dog or go where we want to go. Cats are very independent, as I'm sure you know, and they're going to want to explore things at their own pace. So just don't set expectations too high for yourself or for your cat. Take it one step at a time together. You're going to figure out what they like, what they don't like. Maybe going outside is totally not for your cat. And that's okay. That means that they are content at home and that they don't need that extra aspect to their life. If you really do want to have a cat that likes going outside, you might want to look into different breeds that are more adventurous, or you might have to start from kittenhood. But even then, cats have very strong personalities and not all of them are going to want to go outside. You might get lucky, it might be difficult, but if you genuinely think it is going to be a good thing for your cat to help them explore new things and expend some of their energy that they're unable to get while they're inside, then keep trying. Because it is incredibly rewarding and so cute, and I love to see my little kitty walk outside confidently with his tail up high. Thank you so much for watching this video. I definitely did not cover everything there is to leash training your cat in this video, so if you try any of these tips, let me know how it goes in the comments. Let me know if you're having trouble, how your cat is reacting to your crazy human shenanigans. I'm happy to share my experience about my cats because I've done so much troubleshooting, from stinky poop to feeding schedules to sleeping at night. So let me know what questions you have, and I hope to see you all outside walking your cats. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this. Probably just my boyfriend. Bye everyone, see you next time. He hates me.